Welcome, Collective, to Timeless Energy. I'm Barbara. This is a general, timeless reading. This is entertainment purpose only. If it does not resonate, please do not try to make it fit. Watch out for scammers in the comment section below. This is my disclaimer. That will not be me. I thank you for the likes and the subscribes. The subscriptions do help grow my channel. Oh, we're getting a little crazy here with the sage, the smudge. And thank you very much for your donations. This timeless reading includes rune cards now because I got some rune cards. I like the runes. Please forgive me on my pronunciation if I'm not quite doing things right with that, but I do pull a rune card. I do pull 3 cards for the timeless energy. Okay. So let's get started. Let's see what Spirit has for us today. The Rune Oracles a little on the stiff side. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. There's a rune for timeless energy. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Okay. The rune that was pulled out is Gebo. This is union, it's generosity. It is the rune of giving and offering, hospitality, generosity, marriage, and sacrifice. Just set that right there. Okay. I smudged the cards actually a couple of times. Oops. Oh my goodness. That was fast. The first card for today's timeless is the 8 of Wands. We're just going to set that right there. Holy Spirit, guide me. We need 2 more cards for the timeless read. Holy Spirit, guide me. 2 more cards for the timeless read. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, guide me. Oh. Okay, and we have the King of Cups. Let's set that little right there. Okay, Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. Holy Spirit, guide me. 1 more card. Oops. And it flew. Flew right out there. And we have the 4 of Swords. This came out in reverse. So, let's begin our read. It's like I said, the root chakra here to remind us is union and generosity. So we have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands can be progress. It could be a rapid advancement, maybe even too fast. It could be progress. Now, yep, rushing. It's the energy of freedom, gaining momentum, thinking on your feet. But hastiness, movement, progress. Now, the Eight of Wands is a Mercury energy. Mercury energy is travel energy, and this card is also a travel energy because movement and travel kind of all rolls up together. So I try to look for synchronicities. So travel would be like both with Mercury energy and with the energy of the Eight of Wands. Movement. It could be a card on health. Could be a card on health. This card itself in movement could be great haste, but the energy of Mercury could be in health. It could be great haste in communication. It could be great haste in reasoning. It's a Sagittarius energy as well. Now, I'm doing my best to focus on the energy. If this resonates with you because you know somebody who is a zodiac Sagittarius, by all means, but I am trying to focus on the energy of the card, or the cards together. And a Sagittarius energy, it's an extrovert type thing. A Sagittarius energy is no time for trivial issues. It's also an energy that shouts travel. So we have 3 indications that point out movement, travel, great haste. Let's look at the King of Cups and see what the King of Cups is here. King of Cups says, creativity. This would be a professional. Could be a scientist, could be a businessman, it could be somebody that's very creative, but an artist even. Generosity. King of Cups would be somebody that understands unconscious motivations, a mature and emotionally stable person, someone you can trust, somebody that has a wealth of knowledge, someone who has good advice. This would be an emotionally intelligent energy. It's also the energy of the third eye. King of Cups. Well, let's see. The third eye energy is, it's everybody knows that the third eye is kind of like supposed to be intuitive energy. But, you know, we're going to assume that everybody is going to use their intuition. It's more that you trust your intuition. If you use your intuition, you can trust it. It can be very imaginative. You can be connected to nature. You can solve problems easily. But the main thing I would say would be trusting your intuition. This is also the energy, the King of Cups is the energy of a Neptune card. Now, Neptune would lean in the direction of the arts. But Neptune would also lean in the direction of fantasy. It can be long-term and generational, whatever it is, and an imaginative, sensitive, artistic type of energy. But it does have wisdom. Neptune is very heavy with the energy of wisdom and sensitivity. The King of Cups also is a Pisces energy, which is sensitive as well. Instinctive sensitive. And the Pisces is a Neptune, period. It shouts Neptune. Sensitive and fantasy world. I'm wondering. Okay. Wealth of knowledge. Someone who understands unconscious motivations. An emotionally stable person. But you have the Neptune energy and the Pisces energy, which is fantasy world and sensitive type stuff. And then you have this, which is shouting travel all over the place. Shouting communication, an extrovert. Shouting travel. No need to bother me with trivial issues in life. Freedom. Travel, travel, travel. Communication. Travel, travel, travel. Communication. Travel. Don't want trivial anything. And then we go into the King of Cups, which is having a wealth of knowledge, being an emotionally stable person, but fantasy world. I think that the King of Cups energy is trying to come across, because it's both Pisces and Neptune. Fantasy, the arts, idealism, you're idealistic. Travel, idealistic. Communication, idealistic. Instinctive. Do you have an extrovert, introvert, instinctive? You can solve your problems very easily because you're instinctive. But you're fantasizing, and there's a lot of fantasy there that is focusing on travel. Now, your Four of Swords would be coming out of isolation. You're rejoining the world. In reverse, the Four of Swords is coming out of isolation and rejoining the world. It says something about precaution, guarded advancement, a desire to recover what is lost. Now, this is an extrovert. It's an air sign, it's an extrovert. Energy. Jupiter, positive, expanding, optimist, Jupiter. Arbiter, balance. Sometimes this could be sitting on the fence. I don't know in reverse whether that would be not sitting on the fence. But balance, positive, philanthropist kind of energy. Jupiter, the heart. We've got the heart chakra with this card. You feel free, ready to expand. You know what is right and not always what is normal. You feel curious about life and experiences. So this is a heart expansion. You want balance, or maybe you have balance. You're coming out of an isolated type, hermit type thing. Maybe you're optimist. You want to be expansive. You want balance. It's your heart chakra. In your heart. Maybe you're coming out of a shell. This energy that you've got balance. And you're positive. You've been sitting on a fence. You've been sitting on a fence. And your heart is telling you that you want to travel. Your heart is telling you you've been sitting on a fence. You want to come out of isolation. Your heart is telling you. And it's expanded by Jupiter energy, which is you're optimistic about coming out of isolation. Your heart is telling you that you have wanted more. You've been sitting on a fence. Your heart is telling you that you wanted more. You've been sitting on a fence. You don't want to make hasty decisions. But this card and the energy of this card is shouting travel. And it's a Mercury energy, so that's communication, travel. Sorry, I wasn't looking there. I grabbed the wrong card. My bad. Travel, communication. You're communicating, you want to travel. Travel 3 times travel. Maybe you're communicating with somebody who's emotionally stable. Maybe you're communicating with somebody who has knowledge, who's giving advice. You want to travel in your heart. You've been sitting on a fence. You've been sitting on a fence in your heart. You want to come out of isolation. You've got travel energy 3 times there. And you're getting good advice from somebody who's emotionally stable. But this is the third eye, intuitive, gut instinct. Okay, you can trust your instinct, but it's a Neptune and Pisces energy. The emotionally stable person is instinctive and sensitive, but in some way this could be dreams and fantasies. Or maybe it's you. Travel. What's in your heart? Wanting to get off that fence. Wanting to come out of your shell. It's a fantasy world. Are you dreaming? Is it a dream? that you've been sitting on a fence. You've been isolated. You want to come out of isolation. You have in your heart dreams. Travel, travel, travel. This shouts travel. You don't want to deal with trivial issues in life. You hate routine. Are you living in a fantasy world? You hate routine, but you want to travel. Is it a fantasy or a dream? You want to communicate this with somebody who has good advice. What's in your heart is that you want to get off of that fence in some way. What's in your heart is you want to come out of that shell. And you have good advice here from somebody who's wise. Somebody who's instinctive. But is it a fantasy? Is communicating about what you want to do. Getting out of that rut. You hate routine. You're communicating. Travel, travel, travel. That's what's in your heart. You've got a good advice from somebody. It's got a lot of energy in that advice. Or is it that it's a fantasy? Because this shouts fantasy. What's in your heart, is it really a fantasy? Getting off of that fence, walking away from that routine, maybe taking a little trip, giving yourself a break. But is it becoming a fantasy? Okay. Well, that took an interesting direction. Thank you for enjoying today's Timeless Energy. By all means, come back and visit me again.